400 square kilometers. That's about it. And so later, if possible, I'll show you some maps that show you how it actually enlarged till now. We are about 710 square kilometers. Yeah, so they did a lot of land reclamation, and there's gonna be more. If you do not know about it, Singapore population for these 710 square kilometers, it's amazing. We have 5.2 million people. Isn't it populated or what? It's very, very much populated over here. So that's why they need more land. And that's why many of you should be living in houses, right? For us here, you hardly find people living in houses. It's roughly about 5% that's living in houses. First of all, it's way too expensive. Secondly, we have no land space. So most of the people will be living in the public housing or the government flats, they can call it. Okay, so that's why later we are visiting this place called a Pinnacle at Duxton. That's where one of the later flats project is being held, and it's an award-winning design project, international award-winning project. Yeah, so we're going up and have a good bird's eye view of the city area, and there's a few areas that you can see from up there. All right, I'll show it to you later. Now this area that we are going to at the URA, this area is called Chinatown, and Chinatown is part of the ethnic quarters we have in Singapore, and these ethnic quarters were being named during the 19th century. If any one of you have heard of Sir Stamford Raffles? Raffles? Yeah. He was the British man. We were once under the British in the 19th century. So during that time, he was the one who made a city plan and mapped out different areas for different ethnic groups. We have 4 main ethnic groups in Singapore. We have the Chinese. Chinese is about 76%. So this whole area, Chinatown, they made it for the Chinese. But our Chinatown in Singapore is very different from many Chinatowns given in many of the countries that maybe you're living in. Because in Chinatown, Singapore, we are having a mixed religion, mixed culture, so you get to see a lot of different religious monuments over here. Very shortly, I'll share it with you. We have the Malays, not Malaysian, Malays. Malays is about 13%. We have Indians as well, about 8%. And we have the minorities. And minorities, some of them are like the Eurasians, intermarriages, European and Asian mix. And we have something called the Peranakan. Peranakan is an intermarriage with the foreigners and the local, they call it the locally born. Okay? So it's quite a special ethnic group. Yeah? So in any way, so there's different areas for different people, but that was only in the 19th century. Nowadays, you want to just walk around, you see all sorts of people everywhere. So just as we make a turn, ladies and gentlemen, on the right-hand side, you get to see a green color building. For those of you who like to take some pictures, this building, green one, is actually a Muslim mosque.
Oh.
It's a mosque.
Doesn't look like.
And this mosque is not set up by any Malays. If you know that many Muslims, most of them are Malays, but look at this. You see a bracket, Chulia. Masjid is the Malay term for mosque. Jamai is the name of the mosque, and Chulia are people from the South India. This is set up by the Indian Muslims, and this is the very first temple in Singapore. This is called the Sri Mariamman Temple, or the Goddess of the Rain Temple. During the time when Raffles came, he brought along a lot of Indian folks as well. So this man that set up this place was one of the followers of Raffles.
See, this is where you'll be using your camera, not.
And so you see a lot of cows. This is an architecture of the south side of India, and if you realize there's a lot of cows there. Cows are supposed to be holy creatures of to the Hindus, so they don't eat beef. They do not eat beef, and the cows are actually one of the vehicles for some of the deities. Okay, so they have a lot of deities for the Hinduism. So this is one of the vehicles. If you have seen an ancient Chinese temple before, a typical one, this is not any typical Chinese temple. This is called Buddha Tooth Relic Temple, and it's 5 stories high with a Tang Dynasty design, very nice. Inside is air conditioned and filled with a lot of gold structures in there. Okay, so this is a very nice temple. Huh? And just ahead, there's also another church. So one line only, you'll find all the different kinds of religious monuments around. Yeah? Now, very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to arrive at URA. And folks, I will walk you through, for those of you who feels like walking with me, and I'll just share with you some of the things that we will just walk along and see. And if you think that you would like some time by yourselves, by all means, okay? If you like to be by yourselves, by all means, I will just give you a cut of time. As you know, we are on quite a tight schedule. We need to reach the boat on time, okay? So, if possible, I will urge your punctuality later. And if you can just look at your watches, it's 9:13 on my watch, 9:13. We will leave here latest by 10 o'clock. We'll leave here. And